So the Happier Holidays cookbook finally went live on Amazon, which, wow, it was like something I've been working on forever. But what I'm doing now is working my way through all the videos of the recipes that are in the book. And we're going to do a classic green bean casserole. Now, I didn't grow up with the one that comes with the canned soup and the onion that comes in the little shaker can. Actually, I didn't grow up with green bean casserole at all. I discovered this when I was an adult. And I realized I didn't really care for the processed artificial tastes that were involved. So I've come up with a way to do it and do everything from scratch. And it tastes so much better. You're going to love this way. But we're going to start with making the fried onions that go on top. And this is so simple. A little bit of flour, about half a cup of flour in here. And then right here I've got a teaspoon of kosher salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and about a teaspoon and a half of garlic powder. Because we want our onions to really, really taste good. And I don't know what has been going on recently. All of the onions I have found have been tiny. I mean, they're like this big. You know, so I'm using like 2 and 3 in a recipe instead of 1 or half of one. So I've got 2 onions. I think when I wrote the recipe for the cookbook, it says half a cup. We love the onions, so I double up. Now, all we do here is break them up. We're going to get them coated with flour. So I tell you what, you give me a minute to break up all my onions, and I'll be back to show you what's next.
Okay, start.
So I break up all of our onions, and then I'm just tossing them in that little bit of flour with the onion and garlic and pepper. And you do want to break them up just because you want the crispy bits everywhere, right? And then this next step, I'm going to stop in a second and wash my hands, but in this next step, I like to do this for one reason. I like doing this because all that extra flour, it's going to blacken the oil when you start frying your onions. So I do like to get as much of the excess flour off as possible. There's still going to be plenty on there. But then all this extra flour is not going to be floating around in your hot oil to burn by the time you batch out all your onions. And I've only got like 2 tablespoons of oil. And this is all there is to it. I've got this on medium heat. You don't want your oil too hot, because again, you'll burn your onion. You'll burn your onions. Okay. Those only take a couple minutes, so I'm going to wash my hands, let these get brown, and I'll come back and show you what they look like when they're nice and done and crispy and delicious. This is exactly what I wanted to show y'all. So I got as much of the flour off there as possible, but you still see how dark that got by the time I was done frying all of them. So you don't want to do that. So get rid of as much of the extra flour as you can. And then what you have, and I don't have as many as I should because of that right there. You need to stop it, young man. They are so good though. They're addictive. They're like these little crunchy, yummy onion ring things. All right, so now you know how to make fried onions. In our next video, we're going to do a classic, upgraded green bean casserole that is to die for. Okay, so I'll see you in a few minutes.